What's up, everyone? DeucesJack at VapingInsider.com. Today I got a new push-button Squonk mod for you. Yeah, man, we're talking about the Revenant Delta. Basically, this is a collaboration between Vaporesso, Revenant Mods, and TVL, which stands for the Vapor Lounge. It's a unique squonker. It's got a bottom fill port. Kind of weird, right? Push-button squonker. It comes with an RDA that they call the Reload. Not too crazy about that. I don't know. It seems like they're kind of trying to steal some thunder from the Reload RTA. Now, there's no Vaporesso branding on the box, but it's on their website. So I listed it in the video as the Revenant Delta, but it's a Vaporesso mod. Make no mistake about it. It's got that Omni board in it. Another weird thing about the RDA is when I first opened this thing up, I looked at the RDA and I'm like, wow, that looks like it's made from mesh coils, but nowhere in the literature or anywhere on the website does it say that the RDA is supposed to use mesh coils, so I went ahead and threw a mesh build in it. I gotta be honest with you right off the bat, I wasn't too happy with the mesh build in it, so when we go down low, I'm gonna show you how to put a single coil, a single traditional coil in it. So let's not waste any time. Let's cut down low. Let me show you everything I'm talking about. We'll come back on top. We're gonna chat about it a bit. Cons and pros, and then we're out of here. All right, I'm going to see you down low. All right, everyone, welcome to the down low portion of this video. Today, we're going to be going over the Delta Squonk mod. This one is made in conjunction with TVL, the Vapor Lounge, and Revenant. You might remember Revenant from the Revenant cartel, right? It's got a Vaporesso board on it. Back of the box shows you what the product contains. There are the specs. This is a 100-watt mod, fires down to 0.03 ohms, charges at 1 amp, takes 21700s, 2700s, and 18650s with the included adapter. You get a 25mm RDA with it. Let's check this thing out. Here is your owner's manual for the Delta Squonk mod. You get this nice spare bottle, and I'll show you why in a minute. This is so you can carry some juice with you. Here is the mod and the RDA all put together. It's beautiful, but man, is it a fingerprint magnet. A little bit of TVL branding over there, a little bit of Revenant branding over there. I wish they would have been a little bit more subtle with the branding. You guys know I'm not crazy about lots of branding. Let's put it on deck for a second. Check out the rest of the contents of the box. You get this micro USB cable for charging and updates. Looks like a typical Vaporesso cable. You get a spare parts pack with a tri-tool. You get a regular squonking pin, some spare deck screws, a 510 drip tip adapter, some nice beefy coils. They look really nice, and plenty of spare O-rings. Let's go over the RDA first. Beautiful drip tip that I think they did a nice job matching to the actual mod. Really nice job on that goon style drip tip. There's your adjustable airflow right there. You can cut it down. Cyclops style airflow. Barrel section comes off. We'll go over the deck in a second. Let's take a look at the interior of the barrel. Two-piece barrel. See, it comes out like that. There are your cuts. Dual coil only. Here is your barrel section. Some more TVL branding. There wasn't enough on the mod. All right, there is your airflow slots right there. It's a two-piece barrel section. O-ring tolerance is okay. You can see it's got two cutouts for the airflow. All right, nice conical design over here. O-rings hold everything nicely in place. The barrel actually matches the mod really well. They did a nice job on that. Here is the deck section. This is your squonking pin, and over here you got these like plates that close in on your coil, right? When I first saw this deck, my first impression was, okay, I'm going to put one lead here, one lead here, one lead here, one lead here. I'll run dual coils. I'm going to run my wicks over here, right? And there's your squonking pin right under your coil, right? Well, that's not the way it works. This is a single coil atomizer. You have to put one lead here and one lead here, and then run your wicks this way. I don't know, man. I think they should have cut the deck up differently and made it a dual coil deck, because this is huge, right? I mean, look how much space. If my coil is over here, if my coil is ending here, look how much space there is between my airflow, because my airflow is going to be coming from these sides, right? it's just crazy big for a single coil atomizer. I mean, I don't understand how a place called the Vapor Lounge designed something like this that's so big. I mean, why did you need all this space here? Why did you need all this stuff here? If it was just going to be a single coil, you should have just shrunk it down. It just, I mean, it's an innovative kind of deck, but it seems like they're being innovative just for the sake of being innovative, not for anything else. Let me show you the action on the what I'm talking about, the clamping system. See how nice that opens and closes on your coil? Look at that. See? But it's big enough, the deck is big enough where if they would have divided it up correctly, you would have been able to run 2 coils. You can only run 1. It's kind of silly, man. It really is. You got this elevated squonking pin here, which squonks onto the platform. So I guess they're thinking, all right, the juice is going to hit the bottom of your coil because your coil is going to be right above here. And then it's going to cascade down here and go into the juice well. And that's fine. I can understand why they put this extra depth here. Here is your locking barrel system right here. It doesn't allow the barrel to spin, so that's kind of cool. You got these 2 O-rings that have a really nice tolerance to them. On the bottom of the atomizer, it says reload. Squonking pin comes pre-installed. Got an insulator ring around it. Stainless steel threading there. There is your Phillips head negative post. Let's throw a build in this thing and let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to throw a coil in here. I'm going to use the coil I've been using. And by the way, the best way to cut your leads on this one is to use the 6.5 or 6 slot on the coily. That's what I found to work best. So now what you do is you put your coil in there, you kind of hold it down, and you tighten it down like that. It almost feels like these things are going to cut your lead, man. Like that's how sharp they are. It's kind of weird. It really is. But they don't. You don't got to worry about that. Hold the other side down and tighten it down just like that. And that's how your coil should look. See that? See how weird that is? Like, why didn't they let me run a coil this way and a coil this way and put the juice well here? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense, man. Look how far that airflow has to travel to hit that coil. That's a big distance, man. That really is. At the very least, they should have cut this part off and made this a lot smaller. Once your coil is in there the way you want it to be, time to make a couple of adjustments. You can pull it up a little bit. That's what I like to do. You know, you want to make sure you're clearing that squonking pin right there. You also want to make sure you're running that coil like pretty centered in the deck so you have equal lengths of cotton hanging down into the juice well. Even though I had this coil in there before, let's give it a quick pulse, make sure I have no hot spots. So good thing we did. There we go, we're glowing evenly. Ohming out at around 0.3, that's absolutely perfect. Cotton we're going to be using today is Native Wicks Platinum Blend. Pull yourself off a nice strip of Platinum Blend. Right, give it a nice little twirl between your fingers. Once you got it all nice and pointy, just send it right through. Just like that. Nice and tight. Now when you cut your wicks on this one, you want to cut your wicks right by that second O-ring right there, because this is kind of a long wicking situation, a little longer than usual. Same thing on the other side, just measure it against that second O-ring and give it a snip. This one might be a little on the long side. Let's trim that out a little bit. And now in order to wick it, you just take your cotton and stuff it in on the side like that. Just like that. Very, very easy. Same thing on the other side. Stuff your cotton in there. Real easy. Now we're ready to squonk. But first, let's go over the mod. Here is the mod. Spring-loaded 510 connection, which I would call a short throw with a stiff spring. Here is your squonking button right here. Check that out, man. You kind of hold this in and you'll see the juice come up. It's kind of weird. I'm going to show it to you up close when we get to that point. Really nice clicky fire button. Here is your up button, your down button, and your menu button. This is your micro USB port for charging and hopefully updates. I haven't seen anything that says an update, but it looks like the Omni board, so it should be updatable. Got some Delta branding over there. There's the Revenant branding. Here is your sight glass for your squonk compartment.
You have a sight glass here and a sight glass here. They did a nice job on that. Now let me show you something interesting here. On the battery door here, you got an arrow pointing, showing you which way to pull it out. You have some venting over here. So check this out. You see that little nozzle right there, right? You can take the nozzle of your Squonk bottle and you just push it in and squeeze, and then you fill up the squonking compartment. Now, I called it a Squonk compartment because it's really not a bottle. I'm going to show it to you in a second. Here's your battery door. It's a short throw on the battery door, right? You just pull it out and lift, right? Inside, you get an 18650 battery adapter, just in case that's all you run is 18650s. I don't use them. There is your gold-plated battery contact. There is your negative battery marking, battery indicator marking. I wish they would have made that in a different color. You can see there's a cutout here, so you can fill your squonking compartment through this little spring-loaded port right here. Now, here's how your bottle comes out. Now, check it out. See, it's kind of got like a ledge there, right? That you kind of get your fingernail on, and you kind of just give it a pull like that, and then this piece comes out. So that's why I didn't call it a squonking bottle, because it's really not a bottle. It's like a tank, right? You see that? And that's the hole right there that you fill through when you turn the mod upside down. And this part seals against the top of the mod. And then over here, see that like pipe right there? That dips into the tank. And when you press this button right here, it kind of sucks up the juice through that pipe. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of innovative. I'm really disappointed because they only gave you one of these. That's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, this thing feels like, it feels cheap and plasticky. You know what I mean? What if I break this? What if I drop it? What if I crack it? You should have put a spare in there. The other thing is, too, what if I run like citrus juices in here and it cracks? Should have definitely included a spare. That's a bad job by them. Only one way to put it in, just like this. Kind of clicks into place softly. And that's it. You know, you fill it up from the bottom right there. Let's put some batteries in here. Batteries we're going to be using today are Galisi 21700 S35 Pro Series. Negative side up over here. Just like that. Put it in and close it. I wish this made more of a click. I would like to hear that click. So now, as you can see right here, we've all seen this board before. It looks like the Omni board from Vaporesso. There's your battery meter. That's your preheat. There is your wattage. There is your resistance. There is your puffs, your voltage, and your puffs in seconds. Now, you want to enter the main menu system? Hit this button 3 times. You can go to default settings. You have your time set right there. Your brightness, your puff counter, your theme, your screen timeout, auto on and off, super player mode, and your version, and back to exit. If you want to lock the mod, like lock the up and down button, hit it 3 times. You'll see the little lock appear there. Now you can't adjust the wattage, but you can still fire the mod. 3 clicks unlocks it. There is your clock feature right there, your clock and date feature. That's kind of cool. I like that. And that's it. That's the whole menu system, which is kind of confusing because I don't know any way where I can change the preheat. I haven't been able to find it in the book. And there's no temperature control on this. I mean, this looks like the Omni board. The Omni board is fantastic. It has all kinds of bells and whistles, and it looks like all you have on this is regular wattage mode and super player mode. That's it. Kind of a waste. It really is. Hopefully there's going to be an update that allows us to put all that other good stuff on it. Let me show you how to fill this thing up. We're going to be using some crack pie today. Definitely check this stuff out. It's like a pecan pie juice that I absolutely love. So like I said, you just take your needle nose tip and you push it in and you just give it a squeeze. Come up for a little bit of air. Do it again. And you'll be able to see it come up to that sight glass after a couple of squeezes. There it comes right there. See? And now you're all filled up. No muss, no fuss. Now let me show you the squonking action on this thing. This one's a little weird. You don't just pump it once, right? You kind of got to keep it depressed. And you see that squonk in action? See it coming out like that? Look at that. Kind of cool, right? And then you hear it sucking back in. Keep it depressed. And look how the juice just flows out. Kind of cool, right? Again, keep it depressed. Look at that. Right underneath that coil. It's squirting right up into the center of that coil. So that's really cool the way they did that. I like that. Let me get the rest of this all wet so we don't sit here and wait for the squonker to work. Put your top cap back on. Let's take one more look at it all put together. Let's cut back on top. Let's vape on it. Let's talk about it. Cons and pros. And then we're out of here. See you back on top. All right, everyone. We're back on top with the Revenant Delta. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm not crazy about the name on the RDA. I don't like that. You know, the Reload is a very popular RTA, and it just kind of feels like they're trying to capitalize on that. I don't like that at all. You know, I'm just going to put it out there. Like I said also in the beginning, the deck does look like it was made for mesh, but, you know, nowhere in the literature or on the website does it say you can use mesh on it. I did it anyway, and you want to know something? I tried those OFRF coils in it, the mesh strips, and I just didn't get good flavor. I actually get better flavor with a traditional coil. I tried them both, and, you know, they're both very airy, and the RDA is just not that flavorful. It's a shame, too, because I wanted to like it. I really did. I like the way they did the posts in there and everything, and where you put your leads in. I just think they should have turned it around a little bit and made it a straight up traditional dual coil deck. I think that would have been a lot better. It does fire down to 0.03 ohms, so that's good. I'm really surprised that they put that Omni board in there and they limited it. It's almost like, you know, driving a sports car with a governor on it that can only go, who wants to drive a Vet that can only go 60 miles an hour? That's what I feel like with the board on here. I mean, if there is a way to access all the TCs and everything else that I'm used to on the Omni board, I don't know how the hell to find it because I tried it. Hopefully they'll update it and maybe add all the stuff in there. It just doesn't make any sense to include that board in here and not have all those bells and whistles. It just doesn't make any sense. And the other thing that I'm very disappointed on with this mod, with this whole kit in general, is it's got TVL on it, right? Which stands for the Vapor Lounge. So this thing was made by vapors, and I'm very surprised at how many things they missed the boat on this. I mean, they just did a terrible job at not hitting the little marks that you have to hit to make a kit great. And I'm really, really surprised at that. So let's get into it. Let's get into the cons and the pros, okay? First of all, you know, we spoke about the RDA at length. It's subpar at best. It's just not a good RDA. The RDA is too airy. That's a con. It does not do well with mesh or a single coil build, but a single coil build is better. The O-ring tolerance, the drip tip is too tight. The barrel is too loose. I mean, they just dropped the ball on it. The board limitations, we already went over that. That's a con. You only get one Squonk. I wouldn't even call it a bottle. It's a tank, right? You only get one Squonk tank, and it's made out of plastic. So what if I run like citrus juices in there and it cracks? What am I supposed to do? Where do I get a new bottle? That's a con. I mean, come on, TVL. You guys got to know better than that. You can't just put one tank in the box. That's absolutely ridiculous in today's day and age. I just don't understand it. You made so many stupid mistakes on this. It just doesn't make any sense. It's bottom fill. I mean, it almost seems like a step back with the top side now that hit the market, right? Why would I want to turn my mod over and fill it that way? Why didn't you guys put that fill port somewhere on top? Just, again, just doesn't make any sense. I don't like the name of the RDA. That's a con. I don't like what they're trying to do with that. And it's got 1 amp charging. That's a con. 2 amp charging should be standard. It's just ridiculous. You know, we don't recommend internal charging anyway, but if you're going to put it on there, don't put it on at 1 amp, especially on a single cell mod. Put it on at 2 amps. You know, that's why I want an internal charge in case I need a quick charge on the go if I'm in a pinch.
So, they just dropped the ball on a lot of really little things, and I'm really, really surprised. Let's get into the pros, though, because there are some pros. The mod has really nice build quality to it. I like it. I like the looks of it. We'll give it a pro for that. The RDA is easy to build with a single coil. It's easy to build and wick. We'll give it a pro for that. I like the innovation, the push button squonk on it. That's nice. We're going to give them a pro for that. It's got a very easy menu system, although very limited, but very easy. We'll give it a pro for that. Nice capacity, 6.5 mLs capacity. We'll give them a pro on that. It does take 3 different types of cells. You can use 2700s, 21700s, or 18650s with the included adapter, so that's a pro. We'll give them a pro for putting the adapter in there. All right, that's a pro. And the other thing is this thing fires really fast, just like you would expect an Omni board to fire. So I'll give them a pro on that. I mean, my final thoughts are, I like the mod. I do. I don't like the RDA. I think the RDA has a lot of stupid mistakes on it, especially considering that this is a product that has the name, the Vapor Lounge on it. You guys, man, I mean, you should know better than to put something out like this with all these miscues. It's just, it just doesn't make any sense. If you want to go out and buy the mod, go out and buy the mod, but I can't recommend the RDA. The RDA is just garbage. And that's all I got for you guys today. Check down below for the links if you want to go out and try this kit. The mod is definitely worth it. If you can find just the mod without the RDA, it's definitely worth a shot. It's a nicely built mod. Also, head on over to our forum, vapinginsider.com/forum. Bunch of knowledgeable vapors over there. We talk about nothing but vaping there 24/7. We'd love to have you over there as a member. And hey, man, if you liked this video, if you thought it was informative, if you thought I did a good job, do me a favor, man. Give me that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification button. This way every time we drop a new review. We're going to see you guys on the next one. You keep living that vape life. We're out of here. Deuces.